recent Supreme Court ruling, I'll go to the buffer zone decision first. I'll speak to that one, not the birth control one, because the buffer zone decision does affect us indirectly in that it set a precedent.
Yeah, so
Now Chicago does have a bubble zone, which within 50 feet of the clinic entrance, an anti-choice protester has to be 8 feet away from anyone they approach. Now, sometimes they adhere to it, sometimes they don't. It's kind of hard to prove because by the time the police get there, they're back to where they should be. But where it gets bad for us is in the 90s. I also escorted here in Chicago, and there was no buffer zone. And regardless of the FACE Act, which is they shouldn't be blocking the door. There were always anti-choice protesters right at the door, right at the car windows. So it's very intrusive. And if I know that this group, the Pro-Life Action League, has worked with an attorney here, I think his name is Thomas Brescia, who's challenging our bubble zone. We hope that the city of Chicago will maintain it for patients' sake. We hope that the city of Chicago will maintain our bubble zone ruling, especially the clinic where I'm at, which is on Washington and Des Plaines here. There is no fence. There's no private parking lot. So we're, it's like walking up to the door here like a church. So that's
the buffer zone.
The buffer zone? Well, fortunately, that just affects the buffer zone in Massachusetts. But I know that, like even here, the Scheidlers, who are the PLAL, even just like the day after, they were trying to say that it affected everybody's buffer zones. It does not. It affected only the Massachusetts. I do think that it was unfortunate, especially a 9-0. I know that there were certain things in there, like with the buffer zone, and then there's still the bubble zone of 8 feet. So I know that the liberals were kind of signing off on the buffer zone because they want to be able to keep the bubble zone intact, and they knew that if they didn't do that, that would be more prone to be attacked. So I think it was a little bit more of a compromise on their part. But, the lawyers on the whatever, whoever brought the suit, they chose their people very well by having the people who looked like innocent little grannies. And we have one that we call Granny, and she kind of looks like she's an innocent little grandmother too, but she is a vile, vicious woman, and she's been arrested on numerous times. We always know if she's gonna get feisty because she wears jeans instead of her skirt. But I mean, she's done things like try to break into the clinic building and things like that. So you might look like you're an innocent little granny, but she's not by any means.
And so these are behaviors that have that these people, the pro-life people, have gotten arrested for in connection with their sidewalk counseling.
Yeah, but I've even known that here recently, even some of the sidewalk, or whenever they're telling their people, they're telling them not to call each other counselors, because counseling denotes that you actually have some sort of formal education and can actually provide, factual information, which by and large they do not. And so I don't even remember what they're calling each other now, but like the sidewalk counseling, it's not counseling. They're handing women pamphlets with false information. They're trying to trick them to go into the women's clinics, which gives them no help except for a pregnancy test, and they have to wait for a few hours in order to get the results of that test. And in the meantime, they're having to watch these horrible videos and everything. It's, bad propaganda, very, very, very little fact-based information in any of this. If they were telling the actual truth and had science to back it up, then that would be one thing, but they don't. They tell people falsities from the get-go, like abortions cause breast cancer. I'm pretty sure that chemicals and deodorants cause breast cancer a heck of a lot more than abortions do. That's all I'm saying. So anyway.
And specific in the Supreme Court language was the idea of compassionate sidewalk counseling. How much compassion can you show on a sidewalk?
I don't see compassion very much at all. The only compassion that I see, sometimes we will have, I don't even call them protesters because they're not protesting. Sometimes we'll have people who come out and they pray. They say the rosary, and then then they leave, and that's fine. They generally don't even talk to people who are trying to come in. That would be compassionate to me, because they're there, they have the right to be there. I am more than happy to have them be out there if they want to, so showing their support for what they believe in, and they're not bothering the people who are coming in and trying to get the medical help that they need.